Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is OzFrank Sepia TV, as in seeping into your soul, baby. And this is Dude Sword number 2. And tonight I'm speaking, John Nobbs, speaking with James Anderson, OzFrank member, plus director of Mercury's Wings down the Gold Coast, plus lots of other things too. Now, last year sometime, James went to London and did a workshop at the Globe Theatre, and this is what we're talking about tonight. So, James.
I did the International Actors Fellowship at Shakespeare's Globe.
And how, this is once a year or every 2 years?
Every 2 years, by invitation only. So I went through the process of filling out application forms and whatnot, sending my CV down. So I sent it off and got an email back saying, oh, we'd really love for you to chat with us on Skype, and it'll be a chat/audition. It's about 7 o'clock in the morning our time, so I was sitting there just dog tired because I didn't sleep the night before, and had a chat. Went really well. Did my audition, which was to speak a sonnet.
Oh, yeah.
And when they interviewed me afterwards, when I got there, they said that as soon as they had spoken to me, they knew they wanted me to be on the course because of my background was completely different, and that I had some, whatever it was, energy or whatever it is. They said that my experience was so different to other people's experiences that would come to bear on whatever work we did and produce the end result, which is a performance, which would be.
How was it different to other people's experiences?
Well, I was the only one who'd never been to a recognised university or drama school.
Do you think that helped or hindered what you did? I mean, you got any observations about, were they expecting other things than you? Were they ready for other things than you?
To be honest, I'm not sure. I think that the physical background that I brought, and the fact that it was Suzuki and Frank, and I think to them was quite interesting.
They were interested in bringing that into the space.
Yeah, because that would be I'd bring a different dynamic too.
So you think you had a more physical approach to theatre, so to speak?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yes. Well, when I say physical, I guess I mean less intellectual.
Yes, or much less intellectual. My performing of the speech didn't get hung up on thinking about what's my motivation or anything like that. I was exploring the intellectual ideas physically rather than intellectually exploring them in my head at the time, because that stops you. I think that stops the performances.
Possibly. So do you think? I mean, I guess the people in charge brought you for this type of thing. Did they have observations about your experiences that either corroborated what they felt, or do you think?
I think.
Did they say anything about that?
No, I think it was more in the way they got me to work. So if anything was going to be, if any of the ideas about physicalizing a character were brought up, I was always the guinea pig.
Right.
So I was the first to do. So we all had to do an improvisation on our character, and so I was chosen first, and I just had to get up and, whilst given instruction, which is, so it's a bit like working with Jackie, Tim Walker was giving me instruction, so that everyone's sitting in a circle, and
And we're on stage here in this.
No, we're in the rehearsal room
right.
At this stage, just a normal rehearsal room, and so he says, James, I want you to introduce us to Queen Mab, and this, I'd been in, with cup of coffee, sat down, ready to go, not sure what's going to happen today. And he says, okay, well today, this is what we're going to do. James, would you, and you sort of go, oh, okay. And so I just jumped off the chair and I just got up and did it. spend too much time thinking about it. And so that was in that respect, it was the catalyst, because I was...
They were obviously confident you could do it.
Yeah, whether or not I was
and what day is this? Where are we in the cycle? 4 weeks? 3 weeks?
4 weeks.
4 weeks, and
so
5 days a week?
Yeah, 5 days a week.
How many hours a day?
10 till 6.
10 to 6, so what's that?
Yeah.
8 hours.
Yeah, and so this probably could have been the end of the first week or something. So sort of right in there. So
Maybe we should, at this stage, we just talk about what the globe is.
Well, the globe is
you don't know.
The globe is a reconstruction of Shakespeare's original Globe Theatre, which was on Bankside, and it is as best as they can get it from research, archaeological research and scholarly.
Because there's no maps,
readings.
no videos of the original.
No, no, you can't
No
go and
maps,
look it
no
up.
architecture.
I think it's done on their research, and there's only one There's only one drawing, which is the DeWitt sketch or something.
Okay.
Yeah,
Which
which you can get. It's online. I think it's a Dutch guy who came to see a show, sketched the interior, and that's the best. I think that's one of the only things they've got of what they think the globe looks like.
Surprising. One of the things that amazes me about the Globe Theatre is that the Globe Theatre in London, which was, when was it built? 1990? Something like that?
Yeah, something like that. That's when it's finished, yeah.
An American called Sam Wanamaker, American film actor and director, went to London back in the 60s and 70s and said, oh, where's the Globe Theatre? Where did the Globe Theatre used to be? Where did Shakespeare's? And everybody went, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Who cares? And he went, what do you mean? I'm in London, the home of Shakespeare, the home of English plays, and you don't care about theatre, you don't care about this guy's history and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it took him 30 years, I think nearly at least 20 years of convincing the English how important it was the Globe. They didn't care less. And in fact, it wasn't until he got the Duke of Edinburgh involved that it actually started to happen. So this is fascinating. So it's an American that taught the English how important Shakespeare was to themselves. And of course, it's pretty much a lay down misère how successful this place. This is a complete magnet, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Tourist magnet. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And what I guess fascinates me about this whole discussion we're going to have tonight is not only is it a tourist mecca for those who are, want to see where history and English theatre and also English came from, it's also actually a working artistic proposition. I mean, it's very much a very vibrant piece of modern theatre process.
And that was Sam's original brief, was that there had to be an original practices. You had to have new writing. They had to be doing. There had to be plays done in rep. They had to be using. There was to be no artificial lighting. So, like I said to you the other day, that you go from the night. You do a show at 2. And then you do another. They might do another show at 7, but the show at 7 in the summer, because it's still so light in the UK, they put the floodlights on, so you're sort of never out of the light. So they're trying to replicate daylight. Yeah. So there's not that what you would consider in a modern theatre. There's no specials. There's no spots. There's no gobos or anything like that. Right. So
it's always daylight. And always, if you went there at 2 o'clock in the morning, it would look like daylight.
Yeah.
And obviously there's no electric sound.
No, all the sound must be live. They don't, when they do original practices, so everything has to be done as original as it can possibly be. So the Richard III that's on there at the moment, by example, would be, it's all men. Even the stage managers, I believe, are men, and it's original costuming as best they can do. So that means doublets, hoses, everything, how they had...
What people wore in the street at the time.
Yeah, so they would wear what we would consider...
Street clothes.
Yeah, but nice clothes. So you would have had your special... Burbage might have had his special jacket that was really ornate and elaborate that he wore when he did Hamlet. And so they had costumes... but they were closer to like normal dress. But people didn't sort of dress their... It's kind of difficult to explain. Not street clothes as we understand them.
Right.
So it's not like going on stage in your shorts and
Would it be a bit like Noel Coward doing it in the dinner suit?
Yeah, that sort of thing. Yep. So you wear your nice gear, your stage gear,
And
but
probably a
not
bit more colourful than ordinary street clothes, and certainly cleaner.
and a lot nicer. Yep. Obviously, servants and things like that would have been costumed a little differently, but yeah. So you might have had your traditional, if they're doing Julius Caesar, and they might have put some sort of toga type thing over the top of some elaborate doublet that they had.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah. So when you see the Globe productions, the costuming is fabulous. The original practices, and even when they don't do original practices. So, for instance, the show I saw when I was there, Anne Boleyn, had Shakespearean type costuming, but there was women in the show, and the women.
So Anne Boleyn's a later play, is it? Or was it a contemporary play?
Yeah, it's written by Howard Brenton.
So it's actually a contemporary play.
Contemporary
not only
play,
do the original plays as Shakespeare would have done, but they're doing contemporary plays in the style of Shakespeare maybe sometimes, but also contemporary plays that actually look nothing like Shakespeare.
Oh yeah. So they do new writing all the time. So when I was, what have I seen? I saw a new play written called The Golden Ass, which was written for the Globe specifically by Peter Oswald. They've done a lot of Augustine's Oak was written for the Globe. There's been lots and lots of plays specifically designed for the Globe.